How about you learn the way to do this following effect in Blender? We will approach this from two methods. Both are easy, the last one is easier, so pick and choose, and like with a share, to keep this on the air. Let's go. With a new scene, delete everything with the divine X key, and hit Shift-A to add a plane. I will scale that 10 times just for fun, then we can switch to geometry nodes from up top. So click here, close this, then drop that. We just need a viewport and a geometry nodes window, so figure things out. And once you're chill, select the plane and hit that big new button for wonders. You will get two nodes with a connection between them. The input one is the plane, the mesh input. While the output is still the same as the input, because we need to add more nodes and stuff to get the output we need. Got it? We will start with the big two nodes. First one is the distribute points on faces, so open the search bar in the Shift-A menu and look for it. I got it on standby because I used it lately, so just type couple of letters and it will pop up, then drop it on the line. With this, we get hollow points, points that won't appear in render. And we lost the plane. I mean, it's September, man. Let's add the second big node, the instance on points. And I say big because those two are used a lot, just like the Kardashians, but with more creativity. Anywho, once you add the instance on point on the line, even the points will disappear, so we have now nothing. This happened because the first node made the plane into hollow points, then the second one will change those hollow points into any shape we assign, and since we still need to assign anything as an instance, it shows nothing. So, you can add any object to the scene and use it as an instance, or we can just add one in the geometry nodes if it's a simple one, like a cube. Look for a mesh cube and drop it anywhere in this void, then connect it to the instance input in the instance on points node, and now we get this. The scale of the mesh is big, so the cubes go with it. Thus, we can apply scale on the plane from the object menu, which means resetting its scale info to 1, and keep it as a general tip. Always apply scale when things get weird. There are so many cubes here, and we can control that from the density in the distribute node. This one goes with two types, random and disk. The disk one will give more control to get rid of overlapping instances with the minimum distance. Now, other than those cubes, or any shape you made as an instance, we need a target, so I will add an empty, then move it up a bit. I can pin the geometry nodes to not lose it while selecting other objects. What we need to control now is the rotation in the instance on points node, and we need to drag the empty from the layers to the geometry nodes area. Then use its location info in the rotation input to track objects in the empty direction. The effect starts showing but is still not there. What we need is a couple of nodes. One is the Align Euler to Vector node. Look for it, drop it right before the rotation input, and put it on the Z-axis, then connect the object info to the Euler's vector, but that will be in a minute. To get it working, we need the position input of every instance, which is the position node, and a subtracting math node with the empty info going to the Align's vector. So the target info with the instance object goes through math subtracting, then with an Align Euler to the instance rotation. Quite an easy set, and now we should have it working. You can go now and change the target to any object you want. Maybe go with the monkey's head. I can go with another shape for instances, like maybe changing the cubes to cones, which can look dope, like projectiles. We can also go lethal here, bringing a rocket to the scene and make it as the instance object. With this, you might need to fix the origin point in your object and play with the rotation if things get weird. Like here, we can make the rocket look up with a 90-degree rotation, then apply rotation with Control A, and now this monkey can't escape. The second method we can use for this kind of effect is much easier, and here we have an array of separated objects and an empty as a target. You can select one of those monkeys, then add on it a tracking constraint. Select the empty as a target, and the object should track it with just this. We can after that select all the other objects, and from the object menu, copy the constraints to all of them with one click. Keep in mind, with some objects like the monkey or the cone, you need to fix rotation to make it face the target. And we do that in edit mode, so hit Tab for edit mode and go with the R for normal rotation, or with the wheel from the toolbar, and just make one of them look at the target. Then we can copy this info to the others with the link menu. So once you're done rotating, select everything. I got the empty selected with it. It doesn't matter here, but make sure to keep the target out if it's an object, then hit Control L and copy object info to the rest. And here you have it, fine and shine, with a couple of clicks, easier than the first one, but with the instance limitation since you need to array another object if you want to change the monkey head. That's it for today. Hope you learned something from this. If that's the case, then have fun. See you next time. Stay sharp. Goodbye.